today, I'm going to take a few moments, maybe 20 minutes or so, and we're going to actually up-level our prosperity consciousness. Why is this so important? Because the world has taken a nightmare pill in so many ways and have fallen prey to worry, doubt, and fear. There's something called race consciousness. For those of you who've had classes with me over the years, you know that race consciousness is the collective belief of the human race. It doesn't mean that it's real or it's authentic or that it's valid. It just means that people believe it. And those 8 magic words, it is done unto you as you believe, that's the law of your experience, that you actually experience your belief. So the world, I should say the human race, majority of the human race has a belief in lack, limitation. They have a belief in scarcity, a belief in not enoughness. That's the dynamic that human beings live in, particularly in our country, in a Western world country. And so generally speaking, when your mind is hijacked by the news, it's generally led with lack and limitation, number of unemployment, number of lost jobs, particularly during the COVID quarantine situation. The mind is being inundated with lack and limitation, and then that breeds a tributary of fear and doubt and worry, which hinders creativity, innovativeness, resourcefulness, and activation of genius. Now, there are 2 worlds. There are more than 2 worlds, but for the sake of today's teaching, there are 2 worlds that people live in. There's the world of the collective belief, and we can see the collective belief on the headlines of the newspapers, again through our mass media. We see that world, and it's fraught with, if it bleeds, it leads. It's fraught with the lowest common denominator of the human experience. So if people become addicted to the news media narrative, they would have a tendency to think that everybody that goes to bed at night has either tried to kidnap somebody or steal from somebody or has some kind of rivalry or malice, or, we have to be aware of everything that goes bump in the dark because there's something obviously bad with the world. So there's and that world is made up of the collective belief of society and in the global society. As I said earlier, what is that belief? Lack, limitation, and scarcity. There's not enough. Now, there's another world, which is the world of reality, capital R, the spiritual world, the world that the living one sees, the presence of God. That's a world fraught with opportunity, possibilities. In science, we may say it's the quantum field. It's a different world altogether. And our spiritual practice is to lift us out of the sea of mental garbage, out of the den of confusion, out of the world of lack and limitation, and begin to participate on a feeling level and on a vibratory level in the world of abundance that exists. Now, most of you know already that there's a solution to every issue on our planet right now. You know already there's already the technology for free energy, free electricity. All of these technologies already exist. There's already you can already tap in to certain instruments and have free electricity. You know that the world is covered by 3/4 water, and there's technology to actually make it drinkable. So there's no lack anywhere. There's just a lack of will from an old paradigm to profit off of a belief of lack and limitation, you see. But in reality, that doesn't exist. Even in the physical dimension of the earth, that doesn't exist. It's just old technologies used by old paradigm to keep people subservient and to being used by profiteers. Now, the spiritual world is full of divine ideas and possibilities. When you read the Bhagavad-gita says You take abundance from abundance, and abundance still remains. You can't exhaust abundance. You can't exhaust energy. You can't, it's inexhaustible. So our spiritual work is about lifting our consciousness, raising our awareness, so that we're actually living in the spiritual world while we have a body, while we have the privilege of having a body. It's like you have a car, so you can have peace of mind while you're driving your car. You can live in a field of abundance, a field of possibility, infinite, mind you, while you have a body temple. And then what happens is you become available to the onrush of opportunity, the onrush of possibilities, the onrush of surprises, the onrush of coincidences, so-called coincidences. Coincidence means coincide. Something has coincided with you. The onrush of serendipity, the onrush of spontaneous goodness. So you're in your spiritual practice, you're lifting yourself into that awareness. Now, what's working against you is the race consciousness, the collective belief of society. Belittle yourself and belittle possibility by living in the old world and saying there's not enough this, there's not enough that, there's not enough time, there's not enough money, there's not enough, not enough, not enough, not enough, which only re-establishes you in that lower frequency of not enough. Within you is the source of God. And when it begins to express through you, it's your resource. Within you is innovativeness. Within you is creativity. You see, within you is a genius. And you are being asked to pull away from the world of effects and circumstances, situations, things you can see with your eyes, and begin to see the rich field of abundance and infinite possibilities that you're now swimming in, but sometimes unaware, because your perception is clouded with doubt, worry, fear. Your perception is clouded with beliefs of lack. So you want to be extremely careful when you're dealing with the great I am presence. This is basic metaphysics. You've heard the description of God in Exodus, I am that I am. There's the I am presence of our own being. That I am is what we're longing to become. So you want to begin to embrace your I am presence and then lean into vibrationally what you want to become on a feeling level. I am that I am. I am that confidence oozing through me. I am that wellness oozing through me. I am that abundance oozing through me. I am that joy oozing through me. And you must feel your way into the frequency of what you are becoming. I am is being, and then it's always becoming more of itself. I am that I am. I am becoming more abundance, more prosperity, more love, and more joy. But you can't just recite that like a parrot. You actually have to say it and then feel your way into what you want to become. I am that prosperity that I wish to become. I am the love that I wish to become. I am the peace that I wish to become, that I am declaring that I am becoming right now. I am the affluence, the elegance. You know, these words are very important. Affluence. We're not talking materialism. Don't get caught up in materialism. I am affluence. I am opulence. I am abundance. I am prosperity. And these days, you may want to even say invulnerability. That's a great word. Sometimes we put that on superheroes and comic books and things like that. But you want to begin to use that word for yourself. I'm invulnerable. Nothing can hurt me. You see, because on a spiritual sense, that's true. But if you activate that frequency, I am that I am invulnerable. I am peaceful, full of peace. I am careful, full of divine care. I am beauty, I am abundance, but feel your way into it. The Lord, or the law of life, will meet you at your decree with your feeling and provide the avenues through which that will come into manifestation through your mind, through your body, through experience, through the manifestation of what comes into visibility through the power of your word and the power of you embracing the I am. So we're going to take a moment, because I really want you to catch, particularly when the world is being inundated with a nightmare pill. And that nightmare pill is dealing with your health and well-being. The nightmare pill is dealing with your prosperity, wealth, and abundance. The nightmare people have swallowed. They've become domesticated and given the sovereignty of their being to external authority figures. A case in point, you see a lot about the COVID-19 situation, about the possible vaccines that are coming. But these people that are of that level of medical assurance, I really haven't heard any of them speak about the preventative of you catching it, or embracing your immune system. They're talking about, having a vaccine, but I see these people talking, and they're very well endowed with their medical stature, but they haven't said anything about your organic vitamin C, your vitamin D, your zinc, your systemic enzymes, your exercise. I'm just reminding you, of course, that you have to take your life into your own hands, because sometimes people don't really have your best interest at heart. And when, like, the COVID-19 has been politicized, and now it's about to be profiteered, it's about to be used as a level of profit. And I'm not putting down the fact that if somebody comes up with a great vaccine, I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying that up to this point, since there hasn't been one, you should have been inundated with the fact that if you walk around the block for a half hour, the killer cells of your immune system are activated. If you take organic vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and systemic enzymes, your immune system becomes enhanced. But you haven't heard that. So I'm just saying, don't put your trust in powers that may not be for your highest and best. Put your trust in God. And I'm not talking about a God in the sky, I'm talking about God consciousness. You being in connection with the presence of God. So that when you say, I am that invulnerable being, I am that confidence, I am that courage, I am that peace, I am that prosperity, I am that abundance, I am that affluence, I am that opulence with the feeling tone, then the universal law will operate upon that and show up in your life. And so we're going to do two things. I'm going to take you through a brief meditation around your abundance and prosperity so that you can pull out of that world. You may be temporarily unemployed. Your bank account may be draining, or maybe not. Many people, that's not their particular challenge. But many people have a lot of money, but are still have lack consciousness. They're afraid of circulation. They don't support anything necessarily. They just hold on to the dead presidents until they scream, circulate me, let me help the world. Anyway, so we're going to do that. We're going to have a brief meditation around that, and a little bit more teaching, and then a prayer, and then that'll be it for today. So I just want to inundate your mind with the awareness that right where you are is the presence. That's never an absence. And you have to systematically come out of the world of effects and come to the real world, and then go into the world and be of the higher frequency, you see. Because if you're getting most of your news from television, then you're not telling a real vision about the possibility of your life that comes from your heart and soul. Did you hear that? If you're getting most of the news from television, you're not telling a vision from your soul, you see. And this is what's necessary for you to be invulnerable, for you to live in vitality, for you to live in prosperity, innovativeness, resourcefulness, creativity, activation of genius. That's what this time calls for. So if you're willing, I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath and lift your shoulders to your ears and squeeze really hard. And just relax. And in this moment of relaxation, I want you to think about a moment where you felt at home. Many of you that have attended Agape over the years in person and online have very similar comments about, oh, when I stepped into Agape, I just felt at home. So just find the place within you where you feel at home. It could be the home that you grew up in. It could be your own home. It could be perhaps you were sitting in the forest one day, or you were looking at the waves on the ocean, or walking through a park, or you just felt at home with yourself. I want you to add to that feeling a feeling of being deeply loved and supported. In other words, think about a moment in your life where you felt loved and supported. It may have been a grandmother that really doted over you and loved you. It may have been a friend, an associate, a colleague, a lover, somebody that just really loved you. Or you may have just been sitting in meditation one day and felt the onrush of the love of God flowing through your heart, that you were just loved as a being, a unique emanation of God. But right now, I want you to feel at home and loved and supported. So we're tapping the mystic chord of memory, activating it, and allowing that feeling of home and love to be active within us. Now, I want you to think about someone in your life or someone that you know about, that when you see them or think about them, they radiate prosperity, abundance. They seem to have all of their needs met. You may not know what goes on behind the scene in their life, but from all appearances, they are living an abundant life, a prosperous life, a life full of affluence and opulence. Again, I'm not talking about gauche, glittering materialism. I'm talking about substantial feeling of all needs met, prosperity feeling. Think about an individual in your life or someone you know or know about that radiates that frequency, and bring them into your mind's eye. And the first thing I want you to notice is that you cannot notice or see that feeling of all needs met and prosperity unless it was embryonic in you, unless you can only see what's within you. So if you're seeing this individual as prosperous, they have their needs met with an ease and a grace, that means that's latent within you. You are projecting the seed idea from the depth of your being onto that individual. I want you to, one, own that now. What you see in that individual, you begin right now by celebrating it in them. Be grateful that they are prosperous. Be grateful that all of their needs are met. You're not allowing any sense of envy or jealousy or competition to emerge. You're happy that they are successful. And as you are happy that they are successful, you're giving yourself permission to not push away the all needs met consciousness, the success, the prosperity from entering your own life experience. You're not talking bad about it. You're not gossiping about them. Instead, you are glad that they are prosperous, so you're not pushing away prosperity and success from your own life. Now do one other thing. Think about any time in your life, from the time that you were a small child to present moment, and think about a moment where all of your needs were met. You weren't worried about paying your rent. You weren't worried about your bills. You weren't worried. You weren't operating from any sense of lack at all. Just think about a time in your life where that was so. It could be from a small child where you didn't even know the mechanics of how your parents were keeping you housed and sheltered and fed. Or it could be any moment in your life where that sense of foreboding about money had not entered your consciousness. Think about that moment. Strike the mystic chord of memory with your heart and feel into that moment. All needs met. Let it come into this moment. The moment of all needs met that you're remembering, you're bringing into this moment. Capture it with your I am. Say to yourself or out loud, I am that prosperity. I am that abundance. I am that success. Feel into it. Don't look to the world. Look to yourself. The feeling. You're in a different world right now. I am that prosperity. I am that abundance. I am that opulence. I am that joy. I am loved. I am supported. I am home. I am home with myself. Now in this feeling, this rapture of abundance, you're not looking to the world, this rapture of abundance, harmonizing prosperity, wealth, affluence, this is a state of consciousness. You're up-leveling your state of consciousness. Now, take a deep inhalation. Sustain the breath at the apex, called just sustaining the breath, but with the feeling of abundance, feeling of prosperity, feeling of success. Sustain the breath. Release. Say out loud, I am that prosperity. I am that abundance. I am that wealth. I am that opulence. I am that harmonizing prosperity. I am that I am. My state of being is becoming more of what I am. I am that I am. I am that I am prosperity. I am that I am joy. I am that I am abundance. I am that I am. Feel into that. Now in this feeling of home, this feeling of loved and support, this feeling of all needs met. I'm going to invite you to take another inhalation. Do it now. Inhale. Sustain the breath. When you hear the clap of my hand, you will multiply the feeling times 10 and release with the sound of ah. Multiply. Let it cascade all over your being. I am that prosperity. All of my needs are met. I am that abundance. I am that I am. I am that I am abundance. I am that I am peace. I am that I am wealth. I am that I am all needs met. I am that I am enough. Inhale. Sustain the breath. Multiply this feeling at home in prosperity by 50 and release with the sound of ah. Revel in this feeling. You've heard me say this for 34 years if you've been to Agape that many years. In this feeling is the healing. The healing is revealing the wholeness that's already there. It's a revelation. Feel into it. Say out loud, I am that I am. I am that I am prosperity. I am that I am abundance. I am that I am infinite possibilities of good. I am that I am opulence. I am that I am joy. I am that I am all needs met. Inhale. Sustain. Sustain the breath. Multiply this feeling at home, prosperity and abundance times 100. Release. Feel into it. Remember that feeling of all needs met? So you are owning the projection that you have placed upon the individual, that when you see them, you see prosperity. You're radiating the prosperity and projecting it onto them. You're now owning it in yourself. Remembering a moment in which you felt all of your needs are met, duly loved and supported. You're embracing that as a feeling that provides a revealing of the intrinsic wholeness. You're basking in a different world. You're no longer double-minded. You're no longer having adultery, that is, laying in bed with thoughts that are going to take you down. No idolatry or adultery with limited thoughts that are going to bring you down. No idolatry. One God, the God of abundance, the God of the quantum field, the God of affluence, one God. Thou shalt worship the one God. All needs met. No idolatry and no adulterating your thoughts, mixing your thoughts with affirmation and then self-recrimination. You will catch yourself. So we go back to the top in the beginning. People live in one or two worlds. the world of the collective consciousness, the collective belief, and the experience of that? Or they live in the world of pure inspiration shot from the mind of the living one, love intelligence? You are to live in the world of the higher frequency. So you'll be in this world, but of the higher frequency. And then what shows up in your life, what will manifest, are opportunities to be prosperous, opportunities to have your needs met. What will manifest will be open doors. What will manifest will be the activation of your potential. What will manifest will be your resourcefulness, your innovativeness, your creativity, your courage. What will manifest will be the inner genius being activated for such a time as this. Close your eyes again as we close with affirmative prayer. Tap the space between your eyebrows for a moment to just activate your willingness and your ability to see the invisible, to hear the inaudible, to see the face of divinity everywhere. So we turn within in this moment and we elevate ourselves to a deep sense of gratitude and thanksgiving and dynamic appreciation for life itself, for love itself, peace itself that's everywhere in its fullness. Love is everywhere, peace is everywhere, joy is everywhere, abundance is everywhere, except where it's being suppressed by a limited perception. But our perception has expanded to the perception of wholeness, and we see the face of God everywhere. We recognize this presence and feel so at one with the presence that we can once again say, I am that I am. I am what thou art, and thou art what I am. I am that I am abundance. And it's from this connection with God, conscious connection that is, the word is spoken for each and every individual tuning in right here at this moment, watching this teaching, that right where they are, the full presence of God is, and the full measure of abundance is. The full measure of divine health and well-being and wealth and wellness reign supreme. And this word is serving as a law of elimination to anything that would hinder, delay, obstruct, or deny the fullness of life from moving through all of these beings. There are many gifts, but there is only one Spirit. There's one God and individual expressions of God, and we are it. The word is spoken that these individuals break free from the shackles of lack and limitation, fear, worry, doubt, and fly on the wings of the Spirit into realms of dynamic peace, abundance, generosity, vibrationally creating a kind and just global economy and global society. It's happening now, right now. I give thanks for this awareness. I feel good about it. Something is set in motion, and we allow it to be so. Therefore, we can say, and so it is, now and forever. So be it. Amen.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.